Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. As you've probably guessed from my voice, I have a stinking cold, so please excuse it. It's time for another challenge in the brigade. The theme they voted for was working from just one image. Yep, just one inspiration image, and this is the image we chose. It's a cute and colourful illustration, and we've been given permission to use it by the artist Alyssa, who I will link in the description box. Please do stick around to the end of the video to see everybody's entries and vote for your favourite. As I only made this yesterday and I was still ill, we're working on a 6-inch dummy. I'm using Trex, which is just veg fat, to smear all over the cake to get my paste to stick. If you want to know why I use this, you can check out the How to Strip Your Cake Dummy tutorial, which I'll leave linked below. I'm then laying over my burgundy coloured paste. This is Renshaw's Cassis paste, which isn't fully behaving because it's already out of date. I'm taking my trusty quilting ruler, and you've seen me use this wherever I've used stripes. I can highly recommend it, and I'll leave it in the description box. But you can hold it up against your cake, and I can see that I need my stripes to be at least 7 inches tall. I've rolled out the rest of my burgundy paste and I'm cutting a straight edge with my quilting ruler. Then you can choose whatever size stripes you'd like. I'm just going for these black boxes, which are each an inch, and I'm lining up my black line with that straight edge so I can easily cut 1 inch nice even strips. Usually I would add Tylo powder to this paste to help hold its shape, but because the paste is old and out of date, it's already doing it for me. The strips do still have a little bit of give and bend, so it's best to leave them to set before using them. You can straighten them back up by just giving them a little shove with your ruler. Keep cutting strips until you think you have enough, and then cut some more. There's nothing more annoying than being one strip short. I'm then trimming them down to just over 7 inch so I can start re-rolling the cut-offs to make more strips. There's no need to have such long ones when we know we're only going to need 7 inch. Line them up on the foam mat and put them aside to set. For the patterned ones in between, I've rolled out a piece of green, and again I'm cutting this down to just over 7 inch, as we don't need to spend time decorating all of this piece, only to find we end up cutting most of it off. I'm just using Alyssa's illustration to pick out some of the flowers and foliage, and I'm cutting them from very thin pieces of paste in matching colours. If you have cutters that are similar to the shape you want, feel free to use those. I'm just hand cutting most of mine. Stick these to your green paste with water, building up your whole pattern. I've picked out the yellows, purples, burgundies and deeper greens, and there was even a little hint of blue in there too. Once you've stuck all your pieces down, make sure you can still remove your piece from the board and gently roll over it with a rolling pin. We're not aiming to stretch the image, just to stick everything down. Then do same again with your quilting ruler, cutting in a straight edge to follow and lining up your black 1 inch marker. Start sticking your stripes onto the side of your cake with Trex. You can even use your quilting ruler to straighten them out. The green strips were a little softer here than I would have liked, but I was running out of time. Yes, the deadline was yesterday. Just keep adding your strips in alternating pattern, and when you get near the back, you'll see I've just cut a really thin strip of burgundy. This is to make sure that the pattern continues without having two greens next to each other. This will just be the back of my cake. Alyssa's illustration has lots of detail, so I'm going in with my paintbrush and some gels to add shading to some of the leaves and flowers. I just start with one colour and then switch to another, doing all the yellows, then all the purples and all the burgundies. Once you've gone round adding the detail, I've then filled my paintbrush with green gel and I'm dabbing on the look of leaves in the background on each of the green stripes. I think it looks quite effective and it'll work with lots of different colours and designs. If you head back a few years ago, you'll see an Alice in Wonderland cake I've done, which is quite similar. I'm now covering the board in a darker green using the toilet seat method. The full step-by-step method for this is always linked in the description box. And I may be working with a dummy, but this can easily be replicated on a real cake. There's lots of different creatures and characters in the illustration, but I've chosen the stag to place on top of the cake. I'm just rolling this deep mustardy brown colour into a tapered sausage and running my finger across the larger end. Bend the thinner end up into his neck, and we've already created his body. There is a tiny bit of footage missing here. All I've done is stick him to the top of the cake, put a kebab stick down his neck and marked in a semicircle for his back leg. His legs start as a cut sausage and I'm rolling my Dresden tool near the end of it for his hoof. I'm just tucking this under his bum for his back leg. His front one is made in the same way but longer, and we are bending it over back on itself. Please don't use scalpels on your hands, it's not recommended. I've just been doing this a long time and I wanted to get it finished. Push the front leg onto the body and make another one for the other side. I'm also adding a little pointed tail to his bottom. The head is the same colour, and we're starting with a ball and slowly teasing out a snout shape, just gently teasing it thinner towards the end. I'm then using my thumbs to push in eye sockets and define the bridge of the nose. Just for extra definition, I'm pushing in where the head meets the snout. Push the head down onto the kebab stick and onto the neck. I've left all this footage in so you can see just how much I faff around. When I'm editing, I usually cut all this out because it's very boring to watch, but you can see I'll place it into position, stand back, take a look, mess around again, stand back, take a look, move the head, go back in, tilt the head. I do this with every little element of the cake, so don't think anything just goes on and stays there. I will tweak it over and over again to get the look I want. Now onto the antlers. I've got a wire with one shorter than the other and I'm just twisting them together. I'm curving the longer piece up and trimming a bit of the length off so I can slide it down the head, down the neck to hold it nice and steady. Create another one the same and add it in the same way. I've now just got some straight up brown sugar paste and I'm pushing it onto the wire. I know my hand is pretty much in the way. I still need to work on my camera placement in the new studio. But I'm pushing the brown paste around the wire and adding little bits here and there that branch off of it. Use the flat end of your Dresden tool to help smooth the joints together. You can add all these details in paste if you like, but I'm just using paint to paint on the eyes and the chest detail. This is just white powder mixed with water, and then I also mix gels in to create the coloured paint such as the chest. The nose is painted on in brown, and I'm also painting in the eyes. I chose to paint it as I think it matches the illustration a bit more than making it out of paste. The ears are flattened teardrops scored down the centre and are simply pushed onto the head underneath the antlers. Tiny leaves made out of green paste and some small yellow flowers using a tiny flower plunger finish off the flower crown. I decided I didn't like the white painted catchlights, so I added balls of white sugar paste to make them a bit more prominent. And we're done. This was just a quick one thrown together yesterday because it was the deadline and I didn't want to let the brigade down after all their amazing pieces that they made. I hope Alyssa likes what we created, and please vote for your favourite in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again next week. Bye guys.